Alright, let's discuss the concept of producer surplus and eventually social welfare. So these concepts, social welfare, producer surplus, consumer surplus, are often used in the discussion of economic benefit, business operation, or any economic policy. So recall that in short run, total profit you want to maximize are written as total revenue minus total variable cost minus total fixed cost. But again, total fixed costs are sunk costs that you cannot change or retrieve during the short run. So you are not going to do anything. You want to maximize these first two terms, total revenue minus total variable cost. So this one that you can change by your wise decision is called producer surplus. So producer surplus is nothing but the difference between total revenue minus total variable cost, especially in the short run. So total revenue, recall it that total revenue is equal to price multiply output, right? Total revenue is equal to that. So for example, if you decide to produce at Q star quantity of output here, then your total revenue will be price P star multiplied with quantity of output. So this entire rectangle, including origin 0, P star B, Q star, that size indicate total revenue. Then what about total variable cost? So total variable cost is the sum of the cost from changing the variable factor, right? So it correlated to marginal cost. So for example, here yellow curve is given as marginal cost. So it indicates when you increase production of output one more unit, then you have to pay additional cost or marginal cost up to this height. For producing another unit, you have to pay that additional cost, marginal cost, up to that amount. So when you add up all these marginal costs from each one more production of output, for example, if you decide to produce Q star, the area below this yellow curve of marginal cost and add it up from 0 to Q star of your target output, this entire area below marginal cost up to the quantity you produce is the same as total variable cost because you're adding up additional costs when you increase output. So the difference between the entire rectangle that we calculate as total revenue and total variable cost, which is the area below marginal cost. So that difference here, given as shaded sky blue area, this area, that is producer surplus. So that is producer surplus. So as you see here, once you have marginal cost function or curve and price line in the market, you can easily see the size of producer surplus. So that's one of the reasons why many people use, or why many economists or business people use this concept of producer surplus, as it not only is easy to see on the graph, but also it is intuitively something that as a manager you can change in the short run that contribute or critical to maximizing your profit. So again, recall total profit is equal to producer surplus minus total fixed cost. And again, as you cannot change total fixed cost, maximizing total profit is same as maximizing producer surplus. That's why many economists and business people are interested in maximizing producer surplus and also indicate the benefit or welfare of producer enjoyed by market participation. And then one more thing I want you to know is, so for example, marginal cost curve, we recall that profit maximization in two steps, include the first step, the price. You only produce when the price is above the minimum average variable cost, right? So that's the shutdown price. And you only produce above P shutdown price point. And then as long as the price above that and your quantity decision for profit maximization occur when price equal marginal cost curve, right? So any price can always make an intersection with the marginal cost curve, indicating what quantity you can produce, and that decision occur along this marginal cost curve above the minimum of average variable cost. So I mentioned this before, but the marginal cost curve above minimum average variable cost, as it gives you the guidance of how many output you can produce at given price, this is called supply curve. So that's the essence of supply curve or derivation of supply curve from marginal cost curve and the shutdown price point. And then supply curve, there is one way to interpret supply curve. So for example, let's say if you produce this amount of output, let's say this one is Q1, then you have to pay additional or marginal cost up to here, right? But then when you produce and sell that unit of output, you can collect the market price P star. So the difference between the market price and also the level of marginal cost at that unit is generating marginal profit. So this difference is called marginal profit. And of course, for example, if you produce here, let's say Q2, additional money you earn is same as at price P star, and you pay the marginal cost for that unit, right? So again, the difference between the price and that marginal cost you pay for the unit, that is indicating marginal profit. So the difference, that is marginal profit. So the marginal cost here, again, indicating what's the minimum amount of price or additional revenue you need to earn to cover additional production costs for the unit. So the marginal cost curve basically indicating the reservation price for that unit to the producer. So minimal amount of money the producer needs to cover so that the producer can pay up the marginal cost. So basically marginal cost, the height of the marginal cost, each height or the marginal cost itself indicate reservation price. Reservation price. That's why the slide indicate or introduce the definition of reservation price as the marginal cost of production above the shutdown price point. So you can say that again, producer surplus is the difference between market price and the producer's marginal reservation, producer's reservation price. Thanks for watching.